And what it does, it makes us reassess. So we have to deal with trust again. Who can you trust with everything that was ever inside the deepest place within you, the darkest, most private place? There are moments when we think we know someone or some people that we can trust with that place, and we let them inside, and we become a mirror of what happens to us every day. We come into that place where television is programmed, where life is programmed. So I want to tell you now, I made some terrible mistakes. I'm living with this huge lump buried in me. That is with joy. The only path that I know anymore, the only path that in any way can take us somewhere free, is the path that takes us outside every program. I can still see that big lump. It's really annoying. What it makes me remember is something I knew when I was really young, which was I don't like to be vulnerable to things that I don't want inside me. If you like, I don't like to be raped. And I feel I've been heavily raped by my exploration. It's my responsibility, my choice. I walk there. So what I want to do more than anything else today is to say to you, whilst I believe in trust, trust is often the signature of a program you don't want inside you, which leaves you with you. Be very, very careful. Don't stop trusting people, because to give and to care and to be open is really, really important. But try and put something inside yourself that chops up everything, that gets deep. Robert, are you still here? Yeah? Come here, please. I've got a friend here. Who's a computer programmer, Start Raving Man. And I'd like him to tell you about programming and the dangers thereof, right? The dangers of the programmer itself.
As you can tell, Jeff's forcing me to do this. This is a programmer discussion under duress. But nonetheless, the whole programming scenario is one where you try to understand the rules that are placed before you, and then work within those confines. And, the rules can vary greatly. And everybody often knows the rules, like don't drop the dishes. It's a pretty common rule, but you know, everybody will laugh once when it happens. And you know, the programmer's task is often to carve the rules and place them into a certain framework such that the rules are advantageous for the programmer. I mean, the programmer is, after all, making those rules. So, well, the programmer makes the rules because he's in the position to do so, or she. You know, the mechanisms that are available, the machinery or the people or whatever, present themselves to be programmed. And the programmer merely looks at the rules and and places them together. Everybody will notice that, you know, there's certain rules that we all follow. I mean, we're a pretty diverse crowd, and yet we look at certain objects exactly the same, like dollar bills, for instance. Everybody would agree on what a dollar bill looks like, or even a 10 or 100, and yet they're the same piece of paper with the same ink and the same little plastic object in them, and they're the same thing. And all our different psyches, all our, you know, personalities and all their differences, will view those exactly the same, and we'll exchange them and use them according to the rules, as though we knew what they were. They're like the floppy disks of humanity that we plug into each other constantly. What about neural networks? What about the hard disk?
What about my car?
Right. Well, you know, those are all just new kinds of ways that people plug into each other. And you know, they're programs that learn, but do you think that a program that learns is going to program itself?
I think this program is males being worried of boys and the toys. The boys are worried about their toys, right? They don't want you to intrude on the territory. Believe me, a computer is no big deal. It's a typewriter that has a memory, that's all it is.
Right, it is. It's an overgrown typewriter. In fact, all the... Well, the programmer gets made redundant because each of the programs is a piece into another one. Just, why don't you speak into the mic?
No problem.
He's got the mic. Yeah, see, I guess he wants me to talk into it like I'm a public speaker like him, but... And usually I'm a programmer, so I'm here to talk to you about that. And, you know, it's a thing that everybody does. You program your responses to people by how you talk to them and how you interact with them. He just programmed me by telling me to speak more directly into this mic so that you would notice my voice. That's right, it did work. Because I don't know the rules of speaking into a microphone, so he does, exactly. So now that I've been properly programmed, you can hear me. And you notice right away how that works. Each person interacts with the rules of another person and causes a change in their behavior. Interacts with them in a way that'll improve the situation, theoretically. I mean, well, he's a sound guy, so he wants things to sound better, because that's part of his job. So he wants to program me to speak into the mic. And so, because of that, he'll speak up, I'll hear that, and the whole thing becomes a big program, like a neural network in a sense.
Their program to listen more because you're louder.
Right, well, that's all part of the program too. But then, see, the question has been all night how to break the program. And that's the real issue, because we didn't come here to get programmed.
Let's break it.
We're not near enough to the lack of
Well, there's an example for you. So, you see, the trick to breaking the program is to look at what's going wrong and focus on a thing that's difficult. Like, you have to push on the button that hurts a lot of times. And that's the one where the bug is, because the other buttons, obviously, they don't have bugs, because you can push those all the time over and over, and there's not a difficulty. So you have to go for the area that's got a problem. I mean, just to take an example, I've often had difficulty with children. And Genesis was talking about his daughters, and you know, both of them are quite lovely and both quite challenging is the word. And at the same time, it's very interesting to communicate with them, because it's like someone that you didn't. If you have a difficulty with children, you don't view children as people. And then you start to talk to them and you go, wow, that's like a little person. And it comes through to you as that they're adults too, and they communicate and do everything adults do. They just haven't been here as long as Genesis has. Longer, maybe. But the point is that was something that was a block point for me, so I went at it and pushed on that button enough times that I felt like something was changing, because I could see that difficulty. You know, and I think that's the same thing that Genesis is talking about when he says that you have to, you know, go into the areas that are unprogrammed and push through that and see, you know, you do all these activities all day long, and those are, you know, agreeable activities or accepted activities. And when you do ones that aren't, you may learn something new. You may push an area where you haven't been before, walk down a street you didn't go, or did a behavior you haven't done. And that's where you either encounter a difficulty or something, and then you have to use your mind to work through that. It's like exercise for your will, or for your, you know, your programming. You know, you would exercise your body by lifting a weight that's too heavy, but you have to exercise your programs by, you know, lifting or doing an area that's not the same area you did before. And that's, you know, that's one of the ways you get a handle on how to change the program, is to look for the bug area, the area that doesn't go smoothly.
Can we have a show of hands for somebody here? How many people here think they are not programmed? I said, how many people here think they are not programmed? Oh, let's make the question even better. Not programmed or not susceptible to programs imprinted in them. Of course. No, I am not afraid of your hands, believe me. Throw up as many hands as you want if you've got the courage to believe. Denise, do me a favour. Stephanie, I saw you being programmed the other night when I was pretending to be asleep. I won't go into details. And you're not programmed. Is that right? You're beyond programming, yeah? This person does look unprogrammed. Would you like to tell us about them? Oh shit, I hate these things.
Looks programmed to me.
Programmed or not?
Not programmed.
No, you say how.
I forgot the question.
Be programmed or not again?
I'm programmed.
Well, that wasn't very useful. No.